So I was sitting here meditating, and Spirit began to speak to me about the Fool. I was listening back to one of the readings, the one that says, I feel you. And they were talking to me about the way in is also the way out. The Fool is the zero. It is the balance point. It is the wormhole, the wrinkle in time. It is that sort of thing. It comes along kind of like where a fucus is, and it is like where Sagittarius or a fucus, Sagittarius and Capricorn tie the knot. And it's not a knot that is binding. It is a spiral, a conjunction, a juncture, as opposed to contracts and things like that. There is no restraint or restriction. It is aligned communication. Speaking of, y'all notice that seam in the wall right behind my head. Okay. Getting in that center, let's do it. In the center, in the perfect balance. Chicken head. You can move their body everywhere and their head will stay in center. Okay, so there are some things about a chicken that we can learn some spiritual application from. But the point is I remember when I started reading tarot or committing to reading tarot publicly, because I read people just from the energy. I mean, people are sending out their message all the time and is in my face like a marquee. So anyways, but I started looking at the tarot, and I remember Spirit telling me, it said, the tarot's so limited. There's something so much bigger and so much more. There's more to it. And I'm like, okay, well, the Fool is that 0 point. It's the choice to either go along and follow like contrived notions, to go through the channels and the pathways of man, very Saturnian energy, to get into the control, or we can go the other direction, get into the release. We can get into Jupiter, Jove, divine expansion, favor, privilege, honor, appreciation, wealth, health, prosperity, all those sort of things. We're here to have a growth dynamic and not to measure up on a chart. No, of experiences. Think of like the gobstopper, the everlasting gobstopper. It just keeps going, and I got all sorts of nuances to it that we get to experience. That's why we are sensational. Okay, friends, these are our senses. This house houses a brain, but that brain is the computer that takes in the information of our senses from our whole body, our whole experience, our whole aura, and feeds it back to ourself and possibly out into the world when we choose to share. We share when we feel safe. We overshare when we feel unsafe, when we feel insecure, when we feel not secure, when we feel unsure. Any of those words that seem to kind of like, tick and prompt that part of yourself that's like, yeah, okay. So anyways, let your spirit speak to yourself. These lips are moving, but is here to prompt your confirmation and your resonance that's going on in your own life. You know what that is. And it'll come to you later, however this applies to you, if at all, okay? But they were talking about we can escape this. I find a lot of times, like if you see, like if you're watching a reader and they're talking about 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords, that type of thing, you think it's going to go further or you're at the hardest point. No, somebody can stay at 10 of Swords for a long time. They can stay at 10 of Wands. They can camp out, build a house, cut off the circulation, and ooh, pretty little bird. But life's making an invitation to follow Spirit, to escape the walls, the dungeons, the confines, the moat, to get out into your life and to explore it. So the neat thing about the Fool, that is the balance point. That is the liberation point. Inviting you in to explore that with your spirit in your meditation time, not consciously chewing at it and chasing it, right? Happiness is who we are. It is our nature. So simply sitting in your nature, positing the question to yourself, how does this sit with me? How does this resonate in our life? If this principle were to be applied, what would it look like in us, for us, with us? Like them sparkles back behind me. Look at all that. Hi. Okay. So anyways, friends, you can come back, leave your comments down below. Let us know what it is for you so we can give a shout out. Be like, woo, woo, we celebrate you. Yes, bringing in more of your joy, more of your love, because that's what liberation's actually about. It's like it's a hot air balloon with the basket. You're liberated from everybody else's opinion, from having to get in a boat to go across to get to the other side. No, you are you, friend. You Wonkavay. Everywhere you go, there you are. That's what it is to have our wings, to have our liberation, to walk in our truth, our mind, our imagination, the knowledge and the knowing of who we are, because we have the possessing of who we are, the satisfaction and the fulfillment of who we are. Give yourself permission to be satisfied and fulfilled in whatever brings you joy. Joy is the flavor of what love does to your savor. Okay, friend, put the I in there and be your savior. All right, I love you. Talk soon. Bye-bye. Double kisses.